Have you ever heard the saying, if you build it, they will come? I hate to tell you this, but not true. Many new founders think if I just build the perfect product, customers will show up. Good luck with that. So they spend months, sometimes years, perfecting their product, only to launch and hear nothing but no traction, no sales, just silence. But the top 1% of founders know better. They don't just build a product, they build distribution, demand, and monetization. And they do it from day one. That's how you get ahead of 99% of new founders. Let's break down how. If you're thinking, I'll build first and worry about sales later, that's just bass backwards. If you want to be a top 1% founder, build distribution channels alongside your product. So by the time you launch, you already have a pipeline of demand. Look at any startup that scales fast. It's not luck. They've built an online audience. They've secured partnerships through in-person meetings, and then created momentum before the product goes live. They don't just launch into an empty room. So before you write a single line of code, start building your distribution channel. Share insights with your ideal customers. Talk about pain points. Build in-person relationships. Launch a newsletter. Engage in niche communities. If you wait until you launch to think about distribution, you're in for a world of hurt. The person who loves your product isn't always the person who buys it. A content marketer might be obsessed with your new AI tool. But if the CMO doesn't see the value, your deal isn't closing. Great founders don't just solve for usability. They map out the economic buyer, the internal influencers, and the entire purchasing process. They know exactly how deals get done. So before you start selling, talk to decision makers. Interview at least 8 people who control budgets in your target market. Because if you don't understand how your customers buy, you're just flying blind. Remember, users use, customers buy. Even if they're the same person, everything changes the moment money enters the chat. So if you want to close deals, sell to customers, not users. The best products don't just sell, they attract. Instead of just cold pitching and chasing customers, you also got to create a movement around your product. Don't list features. Tell a bigger story, one that makes your solution feel like it's the only solution. Think about it. The fastest growing companies don't explain what they do. They define a bold, differentiated point of view. They make it painfully clear why the old way is broken and why their approach is the future. When you frame the problem so well that your solution sells itself, you become a magnet. Customers start coming to you. So engineer market pull. Don't just push sales. A lot of founders use some back of the napkin calculation to guess their pricing, or they just copy competitors. Does that sound like anyone you know? But pricing isn't just about making money. It's a growth strategy. Too often, founders set prices based on what it costs to build, what feels reasonable. But that's backwards. Pricing should be based on the value customers get. If your tool saves a company $100,000 a year, but you're charging $29 a month, you're doing it wrong. Great founders don't think of pricing as a number. They think of it as a lever. Pricing should make adoption easier, not harder. And the best pricing models drive expansion, retention, and long-term growth. If your pricing doesn't match the value you deliver, you're leaving money on the table. So don't just price for revenue or for competition. Price for growth. Hiring salespeople won't fix a broken sales process. If you don't have a repeatable way to close deals, you're not ready to hire. The best founders systematize sales before they scale their team. They create a repeatable process, one that works without guesswork. They document who they're targeting, what they're saying, and how they're closing. And they automate as much as possible before bringing on a team. Because if you can't close a deal, how do you expect someone else to? Before you make that first sales hire, prove the process works. That way, when you bring people in, they're plugging into a system, not chaos. Build a sales machine before hiring salespeople. Don't just sign customers. Turn them into a growth engine. Think about it. Would you rather fight for every new sale or have new customers bring in more customers? Consider designing for referrals from day one. Build incentives into the product itself, making it easy and rewarding for customers to spread the word. Offer exclusive perks for referrals like discounts, early access, VIP status, things that make customers want to invite others and get in on the action. Then turn success stories into marketing assets. When potential buyers see others getting real results, it's easier for them to say, hot damn, I need this too. Turn your customers into your best salespeople. Don't force customers into an unnatural sales process. Align with how people already buy. Some industries thrive on self-serve, product-led growth. Those customers expect to try, buy, and onboard themselves. Others expect high-touch, enterprise-type sales, long evaluations, demos, and contract negotiation. All you're doing is adding friction if you're not matching your go-to-market strategy to how your buyers evaluate and purchase products. If they prefer self-serve, make it seamless. No unnecessary calls, no slow onboarding. If they expect a high-touch process, plan for it. Invest in sales, support, and relationship building. Now, that doesn't mean you can't innovate, but the goal isn't to force customers to adapt to you. It's to remove obstacles and make buying easier for them. Match your go-to-market strategy to how your customers buy. Think about where you're at right now. Are you setting up distribution, sales, and pricing strategies alongside your build? Or are you planning to just figure it out after launch? The best founders don't wait. They balance building distribution, demand, and monetization from day one. If you apply everything we just covered, you'll be ahead of 99% of new founders before they even realize what they did wrong. I've linked to resources in the description to help you refine your go-to-market strategy. Give them a look. And if you're struggling with balancing your building with everything else you need to be doing, watch this video.